Alright, Bahamas, let's go to work, let's go to work, let's go to work, let's go to work. Bahamas, we on part 2. So last Sunday we discussed child abuse, and this Sunday is part 2. And what we're discussing today is how to deal with child abusers. So this one will be good. So this is a follow-up to last Sunday, but let's do a quick recap. So what did we talk about last Sunday? What we spoke about last Sunday is that a lot of people here, they ain't no good. A lot of parents say they ain't no good because they still get their children out there sleeping around. They still get their children sleeping at other people's house. They still get their children knocking about, which don't make no sense, Bahamas. Because what we discussed was it's never been a safe time for children at any point in existence. Go straight back to King Herod, he killed all the babies. Go to Pharaoh, he's throwing all the babies in the river. After that, you saw Hitler, he was killing a bunch of children, black, Jew, all kind of children, all kind of funny business going on. Go to the United States, they aborted 63 million babies. So everywhere, at every instance throughout history, the Canaanite, the Jebusites, all of them was having their children pass through the fire. It's never been a safe time for children, but yet, we still get a lot of parents who had ain't no good. And they get their children sleeping out doing foolishness. And what we discussed is the devil loves to take advantage of children. And the reason for that is because if you train up a child in the way they shall go, they shall not depart from it. So you get a lot of angry people because they were angry children. You got a lot of hurt people because they were hurt children. You got a lot of people out there, a lot of adults out there who scarred because they were scarred as children. They were then trained up. Because what we understand is, it isn't the actual act that kills people. Because people are resilient. We can get through a lot. We can get through rape. We can get through death. We can get through a lot of stuff that happened in our family or happened to us. We can get through being shouted at. We can get through poverty. We can get through beatings as children. We can get through a lot of stuff as children. We can get through a lot. But it isn't the actual act of abuse that kills us. It's the demons that are left behind to train us up in the way we should go. So that when we are old, we should not depart from it. And that's why you have so many people who got molested. Now they're molesting other people. They turn homosexual, they do all kind of funny business. They hurt, they angry, they fight a lot. They can't do anything without blaming someone. They feeling sorry for themselves. They depressed, they suicidal. You see all these different things, all these different manifestations. But it's the same spirit that molested you or sent someone to molest you. It's the same spirit that trained you up. And what we understand, this is the last thing, is the most important thing in all this is that demon needs permission to be there. So that demon forces way into your life because some demons get into your life by force. And he forces himself on you and he trains you up. But he needs permission to be in your life. And once you remove that permission, only with the blood, you need Jesus for that. Then you're free because who the Son sets free is free indeed. No one call over. But now let's talk about child abuse. And how to deal with the abuser. We talked about how to deal with the abuser today. It is a simple 3-step process. And because it's a simple 3-step process, I can talk a lot today. And we're jumping into Mark for this one. Before we jump into that, listen to this weird conversation. Bahamas, I had one of the most weirdest conversations in the world. But listen to this conversation. So here it is. Me and my electrician was pulling wire the other night. So pulling wire is when you get a new building. And so you're pulling wire through all these pipes throughout the house. And sometimes it's some long runs. So imagine you have a plug in your front room. And now you had to go way back to the breaker in the back of the bathroom or in the back of the kitchen. So you pulling wire all through the house. So it's late. It's around 11 o'clock. We pulling wire because they're trying to get this thing done. So we pulling wire and lo and behold, we hear something go boom. Like boom. Like that. In the middle of the night. So now you know when it's late in the night, any noise you hear, it sounds extra loud. Because it be extra quiet. Because it's late, it just sound extra loud. So electrician look at me, and electrician say, boy, look like it's time to go. And I say, no friggin' way. I say, no flipping way. Anyway, I say, no way. Let me say that, because I know I can say flipping on TV. But I say, no way. We ain't going nowhere. I just catch hold of you. We can finish pulling this wire. I say, and besides, I done pray over this place, so you ain't got to worry about nothing. So he said, you can't pray over the place. You call the priest for that. That's what he tell me. You say, you're supposed to call the priest, but you pray over the place. I said, listen to me, buddy. I have a black Bible, because you only need 3 days to pray for your place, to pray for your house, to pray for your building. You need the black Bible. And I say black Bible because that's all my ma had. You know, when you're young, she had the big black Bible. I had the black Bible. I had like a little spoonful of olive oil to dip my finger in to make the sign across everywhere. You know, I put the sign across on all the walls, all the windows, everywhere. And a few tears, that's it. A few tears. You know, when you go to God, you gotta go to God with supplication. So you did a few tears. So I had the Bible, a little bit of olive oil, and a few tears. I said, I'm finished praying for this place. He told me I can't pray for the place. He said, you need the priest to pray for the place. Now, this is important, because in the conversation got interesting. So I say, so tell me something. Let's say you get the priest to pray for your place, right? What can happen when the demons come back? He said, what you mean? I say, buddy, the Bible tell you, God tell you, the spirit is go. And then he's come back with 7 more spirits to gang you. And they even worse than him. So he coming back to gang you. So you kick the spirit out of his house, and he coming back to gang you. Now, what you would do when he come back, you see the priest ain't gonna be there. He said, you don't know what I mean. So I say, fine. I realized he really didn't know what I meant. So I said, you know what, I can quote the Bible for this one. I said, watch this now. Suppose you get the priest to pray for your place, right? And then lo and behold, there's a Washington movie come out, The Equalizer 3. Now you know, when you cut the movie on in your house, because you're watching it on the fire stick, so you're not teeth in the movie. So you cut it on the fire stick. Before the first 5 minutes, Denzel done kill 120 people. You know how that one go. Denzel don't play. Denzel Washington done kill 120 people. So now you open up the door. Yeah, you open it wide, but you open up the door a little bit so some demons coming in. They may not be like big bad spirits, but you get some familiar spirits. They try to come in. Because you open up the door, you invite them in. You watch this movie with all this killing, you're enjoying yourself. The demons watch people kill all day, they enjoy themselves. So you invite this demon in your house. How do you get this demon out your house? He tell me you call the priest. They say, you know what? I gotta talk about this. Let's go to work, Bahamas. He told me you gotta call the priest. And so when I'm trying to tell you this, Bahamas, if you can't pray for your house, then buddy, your head ain't no good either. Now listen to this. We'll be doing this, so let me recap all that, because they talking a lot. But like I said, this is an easy one. We're talking about child abuse. And we're talking about the 3 simple steps to deal with child abusers. And to do that, we in Mark chapter 9. We can read a story. But the title of this story is called The Priest. Because that's what my friend told me to do. He said, buddy, if it happened to you, if anything happened, call the priest. I said, alright. So listen to this. And we're in Mark chapter 9. And everybody know this story. That's why I said this one will be quick. This is a story about the father who had the little boy. And this little boy is possessed by a spirit. But this is one of the worst acts of child abuse in the world. Because what the father says to Jesus is, this spirit has been with my child ever since he was young. But worst of all, the spirit is throw the child into the fire and try to burn him up. And the spirit is throw the child into the water and try to drown him. And sometimes the spirit just throw him on the ground in front of Jesus. So here it is, the father was telling him that I had this spirit with my child all his life. And he's been trying to kill my child. And that's why this is important. This is important because a lot of y'all get children out there. And the spirit trying to drown your children with alcohol. And the spirit trying to burn your children up with marijuana. That's what it is, you burn it. So a lot of parents going through this. And so here it is, you got this father talking about the abuse that his child was going through. That it was this spirit that was trying to burn up his child and drown his child. In actuality, the spirit was just trying to kill his child, plain and simple. And like I said, it's a 3-step process on how to deal with abusers, on how to deal with these spirits. And the title of this one is Go Call the Priest. Because that's what my good friend electrician tell me. So listen to this, Bahamas. We're in Mark chapter 9 and follow me now. And when Jesus came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and his scribes questioning them. And straightway all the people, when they beheld Jesus, were greatly amazed. And running to Jesus, they greeted him. And Jesus asked the scribes, What question ye with them? And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, who hath a dumb spirit. And wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him. And he foameth and gnasheth his teeth, and pineth away. And I spoke to thy disciples that they should cast the demon out, and they could not. Alright, Bahamas, I'm doing this for my friend. Because here you have it. This man called the priest. In fact, he didn't even call one priest. He called 12 priests. He called all the disciples. You get Mark, Matthew, James, John, Peter. Judas was even there. I was like, okay, I don't know if Judas was there, but let's assume all that was there. So here it is. This man called all the priests. But guess what? Some demons don't listen to no priests. It's as simple as that, Bahamas. See, I can't tell you no lies. See, your priest can never tell you that, but I tell you the truth. Is some demons that ain't gonna listen to your priest. Now this can hurt a lot of people. Because a lot of y'all out there think bishop can do no wrong, and ain't nothing bishop can do. Once bishop throw on a new suit, oh my gosh, bishop can do anything. But buddy, these were good priests. And the demon wasn't listening to them. So imagine if your bishop is like the sons of Sceva. Remember the sons of Sceva? The demon tell the sons of Sceva. The demon say, I know Paul and I know Jesus, but who are you? So what I'm telling you is, Bahamas, if you look through history, you could go back to Hitler. You know how many priests Hitler killed? That demon, the Antichrist, is specialized in killing priests. Come on, Bahamas. Now I tell you this to be scared. But what I'm trying to tell you is, what I go on to the priest for when I can go to the Most High, that don't make no sense. The man was telling me I can't pray for my house. He said, you know you can't do that. You gotta get the priest. And I say, buddy, what I need $1 million for? I get Jesus for that. I go straight to Jesus. What I need $1 million for? But he can understand. He can conceptualize that. Because he's been taught to go to the priest. Bahamas. After slavery, they didn't want us to read or write. They taught us to ask for something. That's why so many people around here asking for something. You gotta ask people what that say. They didn't want you to be able to read for yourself. You gotta go ask someone. That's why everybody begging around the place. Oh, mom, I was going deep on this one. The Catholic Church, it was illegal to read the Bible. They wanted you to ask for something. They want you to come and ask them what the Word of God say. That don't make no sense. And yet you train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, listen, next generation, they should not depart from it. Now you still asking the priest to pray for your house. You can't pray for your own house. There ain't nothing wrong with asking the priest. There ain't nothing wrong with bringing the bishop over to dinner, because somebody can get mad. Nothing wrong with that. But when the bishop goes, what you can do? And lo and behold, the bishop trying to get in your pockets like the sons of Sceva. Then he bringing some demons in there with him. Come on, Bahamas, I tell the truth, I don't tell no lies. So what I'm trying to say to you is simple, Bahamas. I can soon get to the 3-step process of how to deal with child abuses. But first, we got to deal with this. And what I need you to understand is some demons out there ain't listening to your bishop. There's only one person that demon listening to, buddy. And it ain't the bishop. I don't care how nice bishops do this. I don't care if bishop throwing a cape. You know, sometimes they put a cape over there. They put a cape over there too. A lot of us do it. So let's go deep. So let me read that one for you again. As I think you all think I lie. Remember now, you go throughout the Bible. There's a lot of demons don't listen to nobody. Listen to me. You go to Revelation, they got that spirit named the Antichrist or the Antichrist. That spirit been in the world. But when he really come in the world, if you don't take that mark, I don't care if you're the bishop, I don't care whoever you is. This can be worse than when they was dealing with Caesar and the rest of them days getting fed the lions. It's that type of situation. Christians can be getting their head chopped off. It's a real one, Muhammad. The Antichrist spirit ain't listening to nobody. That's why you gotta be able to go to God for yourself. Alright, so listen to this now. And he said, wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth at the mouth, and he gnasheth his teeth, and he pineth away. And I spoke to thine disciples, and they cannot cast out the demon. And Jesus answered and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him to me. Muhammad I want to call over. Step number one. You heard what Jesus said? Jesus didn't tell Peter to bring the boy to him. Jesus didn't tell none of his disciples to bring the boy to him. Jesus told the Father, bring him to me. He said, you gotta come to me. Not the priest, not the bishop, not the pastor. In fact, you know they get them long names now. The bishop, apostle, sister, brother, this, that, blah, blah, blah. It's all long name. They got a lot of names now. The names getting longer, and then you gotta add MD to the end of it. So it'll be bishop, apostle, father, MD. You know they gotta be doctors. Everyone want to be a doctor. Honorary doctors, right? But God ain't tell you bring the bishop, and he ain't tell the bishop bring the boy. He said, so step one, you gotta come to Jesus. Jesus said, bring him to me. I mean, you gotta go to Jesus for yourself. Let me go deep on this one. I heard some feelings right now. Let me go deep on this one, Muhammad. Let me tell you about myself. Let me talk about me now. This is only for me. Because I don't want to offend no one. You know, they quickly say offending somebody. I don't want to offend nobody. But let me tell you the truth. Because see, step one in dealing with child abuses, especially the type of abuses that is trying to drown your children and throw them in the fire. Step one in dealing with these demons of substance abuse, or these demons of harm, or these demons of molestation or sexual abuse. Step one, you gotta go to Jesus. Now listen to this good. I never say talk to no angel, because I don't talk to no angel. I never say talk to no saints, because I don't talk to no saints. I never said go ahead and pray to no Mary. I never talked to Mary in my life. Not now or never at the hour of my death. Amen. I ain't never talking to Mary. So I don't talk to no saints. I don't talk to no angels. A lot of you like say, oh, they pray to the angel Gabriel. They talk to the angel Gabriel, or the angel back. They say, oh, I bring down the warrior angel. What kind of thing this is? Has there ever been a point in the Bible where you hear Jesus? Let's go to Jesus, because Jesus is God. He command the angels. Have you ever heard Jesus say, Michael, I need you here right now? Come on. Where you hear that from in the Bible? You ever hear any disciples talk about they calling down the angel Gabriel? You ever hear any disciples say they praying to Elijah? What kind of thing this is? You're praying to St. Francis. You're praying to St. Anne. What is the demonic activity? I go to Jesus. Have you ever heard Jesus say, I am praying to my mother, the Virgin Mary? Come on. When have you ever heard? In fact, when Mary came to Jesus, he said, who is my mother and who is my brother? Look amongst you, that's my mother and my brother. What kind of thing this is? But they teaching you. See, this one good. Muhammad, what I tell you last time? I say, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they should not depart from it. That's the reason for the abuse. You've been abused all your life from generation to generation to generation. Now they teaching you to call on man instead of calling on God. So you calling on the Virgin Mary. What kind of thing this is? Come on, Muhammad. Come on, we gotta know better than that. Open up your Bible. Show me anywhere in the Bible where they say you should call on the Virgin Mary, where you should say a Hail Mary, and I will, listen to me, I will worship Mary. That'll be the end of this. Ain't no reason for me to talk to Jesus no more. What kind of thing this is? You have been taught not to read as slaves. If you teach a slave to read, you're dead. You have been taught not to read the Bible as slaves. If you read the Bible, you're dead. You gotta go to the priest for that, or else you're a heretic, you get burned at the stake. You have been taught not to go to Jesus. They say, what, you call the priest, and the priest can pray for your house for you. Ain't nothing wrong with the priest praying for your house, because where 2 or 3 gather together, I'll be there. But guess what? When that priest go, all I need is my black Bible A little thimble for the fact, a spoonful of olive oil, because you know I mark it around the place. And a couple of tears, because it's prayer and supplication. Muhammad, listen to me. My wife has been around all the time, right? I shouldn't even tell you this story. But she always mad, because she says dirty up the place. All on the wall and things, she see all these marks. She don't know what it is, all these yellow marks. Because every day she wipe them off the wall, she wipe them off the teeth, I put them everywhere. You know, I just go and get the olive oil, I pray for the olive oil, dip a finger and not make the sign, the cross, put it on the door, put it on the window, put it on the TV. I put it everywhere. And she be wiping them off, she don't know what it is, and I don't tell her what it is. So hopefully she don't watch this episode. Because I put it right back next week. Come on, every time something happened to me that shouldn't happen to me, start praying for that place again. Cast them all, Lord, I got to do it Muhammad. At least once a month. You know what I mean? At least once a quarter, every 3 months, you gotta go through and do a little cleansing. But I get to call the priest for that. Anyway. So rule number one, let me get back to it. Rule number one, I think it's an easy one for me to talk about. That's why I can talk foolishness today. I like to talk food. So listen down. Rule number one, you go to Jesus for yourself. You have been trained up by the devil himself. I've trained you all to beg. I've trained you all to ask for something. That's why you couldn't read, you couldn't write. Because he wanted you all to ask people for help. He wanted you to ask the priest for help. He wanted you to ask your slave master for help. He wanted you to have to ask for help. And what God is saying is, bring the child to me. Don't go to Mary for no help. Mary can't help you, buddy. Don't go to no angel for no help, because the angel can't help you unless God send them. And definitely don't go to no saints for help, no help. Because you don't know where them saints going to heaven or hell. All of them saints, you call them St. Anne, St. Francis, all these funny type things. You don't know where they're going. They could be bursting hell wide open right now, you calling on them. Anyway, so let's continue on. So now part 2. And Jesus said unto the father of the child, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. And straightway the father of the child cried out, and said with tears, Lord, I believe. Help thou my unbelief. So what's the most important thing here now? Step 1. Let me set up this one. Remember now, step 1 is you got to go to God for yourself. You. God said, go get the boy and bring him to me. He told the father that. Because that's your problem. You got to deal with this. So you got to go to God for yourself. You got to bring that demon to God. You gotta do it. Not nobody else. Stop asking people for stuff. It's beg too much. The politicians is beg. All of them beg. Stop begging. Remember them emails the other day when Sarkis leaked the emails? I still remember that. Stop begging. That's one of the biggest problems we have in this nation. Don't you just beg? Go to God. You're begging Mary. You're begging. She can't help you. Let me see you something. The most important secret in this world is this. There's only one person who asks for help. And that's God. You know why you don't ask Mary for help? You know why you don't ask the saints for help? You know why you don't ask the angels for help? Because there's only one person that can do anything. And none people can't help you, no way. So anyway, the second part of this now. God said all you have to do is believe. And the man said, I believe. So what am I, in fact, let me read it for you again, because you're on my sideline. And straightway the father cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe. Help thou my unbelief. So what God is saying in step 2, I have to believe. I have to believe that it's already done. It's already fixed. God has already answered my prayer. You have to believe. You don't know what that priest believes in. So how we can help you? You don't know what he believes in. You know what you believe though. I believe. You have to believe that you can fix that problem. Let me explain it. Let me give you a good example. Let's say someone comes to me and say, you know what? I need you to come talk to my children. Or I need you to come talk. Oh, in fact, I need you to come on TV and come talk to the nation. Come talk to some of these children. These knuckleheads. I need you to talk to them. Because they're being trained up by the wrong thing. They're watching this TV. And they're being trained up by money, cars, and clothes. Right? So come talk to them. And you know what I said to you? Sure, I can talk to them. But I don't know if I can change them. See, I don't know. Because that ain't really my problem. Let me see what my problem is. My problem is my children right now. I know for a fact when I talk to them, they can listen. I ain't worried about that. Because see, I believe that when I talk to them, when I sit them down, when I threaten them a few times, threaten to spank them a few times, read the Bible with them, pray with them, I can deal with that. I can fix that. I promise you. But I don't know what your children, I don't know. They may listen, they may not listen. It's the same thing with the priest. The priest come pray for your house. Well, these demons may go and they may come back tomorrow. But he ain't sure. He can't be sure. He might be going this week after you leave your house. See, that's the problem. But you know what you believe, you know on whom you believe. And that's why Jesus said, you have to believe. So I have to believe. So what's step one? Step one in dealing with these abuses is plain and simple, Bahamas. You gotta go to God. You don't need no intermediary. You gotta go to God for yourself. God said, bring the boy to me. You don't bring him to the disciples. Now bring him to the master. See, there's only one master. And they taught you to ask for help. But what they never want you to learn is how to go to God for help. So you go to God for help. So that's step one. You have to do it, not the priest. You. It's alright if someone pray for you, that's fine. But you gotta go to God. The second point, you have to believe, not the priest. You don't know what that man believes in. You may be in the closet for all you know. You don't know what he believes in. The only person you can spare for is you. You gotta go to God. Only God knows the heart, and you know your heart, so you go to God. And you say, you know what, God? Create me a clean and contrite heart, just like David. So you go to God for yourself, because you know whatever you say is sincere. You may go to the priest, and the priest may be saying in his mind, buddy, you use teeth so much, you deserve it. Everything you get, you deserve for that woman to leave. You don't know what that priest saying about you. And that's what I try to tell you, you gotta go to God for yourself. And what's the third thing? Is I'm running out of time. And when Jesus saw that people running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying to him, thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him and answer no more. And the spirit cried. And that's important to know. Let me stop for a minute. You heard Jesus said, answer no more. And that's what I was trying to tell my friend. I said, you know what? The priest will come in and cast out all them demons. But who is to say that these demons ain't coming back? Or another gang of them ain't coming back? All are coming back to beat upon you and your family. So what you could do then? And sometimes you don't even know when they sneak in the house. So what you could do? And so that's why Jesus said, come out of him and answer no more. And the spirit cried and rent the boy sorely and came out of him. And he was as one dead, and so much that many said, the boy is dead. But Jesus took him at the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he had come into the house, his disciples asked him privately. Now here's what the disciples say. So here's what the preachers go to Jesus with. And they go to Jesus with privately, and they can say, why could we not cast him out? Trust me, Bahamas. A lot of preachers out there, they're just going to go and say, well, why did that happen? Or why things going so bad? These same people who's put on their new suit, you know they can do anything? When they go to God, they be like, well, why is this happening to me? The same man you think infallible, right? So they went to Jesus, they said, why could we not cast him out? And Jesus said unto them, this kind of spirit can come forth by nothing but prayer and fasting. So what does that mean? Step 3, Jesus fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Daniel fasted for 21 days. What I'm trying to tell you is some people have been fasting on their life, you have to be patient. That's step 3. So step 1 is you have to go to God for yourself. You got to bring the problem to God. Step 2, once you bring that problem to God, you have to believe that it's done. You got to have enough faith. You got to believe. And then step 3, you got to be patient, because prayer and fasting equals the patience. It takes a while to pray. It takes a while to fast. So you just got to be patient and know that God works. So God, gracious and bless us, guys, protect us. Help us in everything, the Heavenly Father, to come to God for help him to stop begging in mind. In Jesus Christ, and we pray. Amen.